Welcome back, everyone. Today, we are diving deep into the world of Fyodor Dostoyevsky,
Oh, Dostoyevsky.
one of the most
Yeah,
intense and thought-provoking
Yeah.
writers of all time.
for sure.
We're going beyond his novels,
Okay.
and we're exploring
Yeah.
his philosophy of life,
His philosophy.
his ideas about finding meaning, even in the face of suffering.
What's really interesting about Dostoyevsky
Mm-hmm.
is that his philosophy
Oh.
wasn't just theoretical.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
It was forged in the
Mm.
fires of his own life.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't some,
Okay.
ivory tower intellectual.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a man who stared down a firing squad at 28.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's,
I know.
it's hard to even imagine
Right.
that kind of intensity, right?
It's intense.
And that experience, along with all of his struggles,
Yeah.
really shaped his thinking.
Absolutely. And we have this article that kind of dives into his life and work,
Right.
and it kind of pulls out these 5 core principles
Okay.
that Dostoevsky seems to have lived by.
Right.
It's almost like a blueprint for living a life of meaning,
Mm-hmm.
not just comfort.
Okay, so let's unpack this blueprint.
Sounds good.
The first principle
Okay.
the article highlights is the idea
All right.
that the journey is the destination.
Yeah, this is something that resonates with
Yeah.
a lot of wisdom traditions,
Right.
but Dostoevsky
Okay.
really takes it even further.
Okay.
He uses the example of Christopher Columbus
Oh, wow.
in his novel, The Idiot.
Oh, the idiot.
Yeah, and Dostoevsky argues
Okay.
that Columbus was probably happiest
Mm-hmm.
before he actually discovered America.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's kind of counterintuitive, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
Like, we tend to think we'll be happy once we
Kind of.
reach that goal.
Yeah.
But Dostoevsky's suggesting
Right.
that the real joy lies in the striving, the anticipation.
The process.
Yeah.
It's like, think
something.
about, that promotion you worked so hard for,
Right.
the anticipation,
Mhm.
the late nights, the maybe even the camaraderie with your colleagues as you all push toward the goal.
Right.
Those are probably some of the
Yeah.
most satisfying moments.
Right. That's such a good point.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in chasing the end result
Right.
and to forget to appreciate the journey.
And Dostoevsky calls this the arrival fallacy.
Okay, arrival fallacy.
The idea that we'll magically be happy
Yeah.
once we arrive at a certain destination.
Okay.
But often the
Yeah.
real fulfillment comes
Mhm.
from the process
Yeah.
of getting there.
Right.
Now, speaking of freedom,
Okay.
that leads us to Dostoevsky's second principle.
I.
He says we need to embrace freedom,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's painful.
Okay.
And this is where things get really interesting. The article brings up a story from the brothers Karamazov,
Oh, the brothers Karamazov.
called The Grand Inquisitor.
The Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah, one of the most powerful and thought-provoking stories
Oh, okay.
ever written.
So we're talking 16th century Spain with all its
Yeah, right.
religious fervor and
Yep.
persecution.
Exactly. And Jesus is immediately arrested
Oh, wow.
by the Grand Inquisitor,
Right.
who
Yeah.
proceeds to give this
Okay.
incredibly complex and disturbing speech.
Oh, wow.
He essentially argues
Okay.
that humans can't handle
Right.
true freedom.
Mm-hmm.
It leads to too much
Right.
anxiety and doubt.
Yeah.
He believes that people are happier when they just blindly obey.
So it's a bit like he's saying
It is.
ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
Trade in your freedom
hmm
for a little peace of mind.
Right. But Dostoevsky clearly
Okay.
doesn't agree with the Inquisitor.
Right.
He firmly believes in the power of free will,
Okay.
even if it means
Right.
facing those difficult choices
Right.
and wrestling with uncertainty.
Right.
He sides with Jesus in this
Yeah.
philosophical battle.
Yeah. But it's a tough question, isn't it?
It is.
Like, do we really want that level of freedom if it means
That's right.
constant struggle and questioning?
Yeah. And maybe some people
Yeah.
do prefer the comfort of
Yeah.
blind obedience.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's the heart of the dilemma
I
that
think
Dostoevsky wants us
He wants us to think
to
about.
grapple with. Yeah.
He's not giving us easy answers,
Right.
but he's urging us to confront these
Mhm.
complexities of human existence head on,
Yeah.
to really wrestle with what it means to be free.
And this idea of choosing freedom,
Yeah.
even when it's hard,
Right.
really ties into his third principle,
Okay.
which is to beware the palace of crystal.
The Palace of Crystal.
Can you explain what he means by that?
So this is where
Yeah.
Dostoevsky gets really prophetic.
Okay.
He's talking about the
Yeah.
allure of a perfectly ordered,
Okay.
technologically driven world
Mm-hmm.
A world where everything is solved for us.
Right.
Where comfort and security reign supreme.
It reminds me of all those articles about
exactly
the metaverse.
Metaverse, yeah.
And how we might all be living in virtual worlds someday.
Right.
It's intriguing, but Dostoyevsky makes you wonder at what cost.
Exactly. He warns that this pursuit of ultimate comfort, this palace of crystal, can actually strip us of our humanity. We become passive consumers, losing our individuality and the ability to think for ourselves. It's like we're trading our freedom for convenience, for a life without any real struggle or challenge.
So it's almost like he's saying, we can have this world where everything is perfect, but we'll end up becoming robots ourselves.
That's a great way to put it. And this connects back to his idea about embracing freedom. He seems to be suggesting that true freedom involves a certain amount of discomfort, even risk. It requires us to step outside of our comfort zones and engage with the world.
So it's not about seeking a pain-free existence.
It's not about that.
But about choosing a life of meaning.
Exactly.
Even if it means embracing some struggle.
Exactly. And that leads us perfectly to Dostoyevsky's fourth principle. Which is perhaps his most radical one. The pain is the point.
The pain is the point.
He suggests that pain is actually essential for love. And for a truly meaningful life.
So this is where I think a lot of people might scratch their heads because in our culture, we're constantly told to avoid pain. And to seek pleasure.
How could pain possibly be a good thing?
How could pain possibly be a good thing?
It goes against everything we're taught.
Right.
But Dostoyevsky saw things differently. He argued that without the capacity for pain, we wouldn't be able to experience the depths of love or the fullness of human emotion.
And this reminds me of his short story, The Dream of a Ridiculous Man.
Oh, yes.
It's about a man who dreams of a world without suffering. And at first, it seems like paradise.
It does.
But he quickly realizes that it's actually a nightmare.
Exactly. In this world without suffering, there's no true joy. There's no genuine connection. It's all superficial and meaningless. The protagonist even says, we loved each other without knowing why.
So it's like pain gives depth and meaning to our experiences, both the positive and the negative.
Think about it, like the times in your life when you felt the most joy, the most gratitude, the most love. Haven't those times often followed periods of hardship or pain?
Now that you mention it, those moments of joy do seem even sweeter.
Exactly.
Because of the contrast.
The contrast.
With the difficult times.
And there's even scientific evidence.
Oh, wow.
To support this idea.
Really?
Studies have shown that we physically mirror the pain of our loved ones.
Interesting.
So when we see someone we care about hurting, certain areas of our brain associated with pain actually light up.
So our brains are literally wired to share in each other's pain.
It's fascinating.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
And it also kind of makes sense.
It does.
Like, it shows how deeply connected we are.
It highlights the idea that suffering can actually be a source of connections. And empathy, it allows us to experience the full spectrum of human emotions. And to relate to others on a deeper level.
And that brings us to Dostoyevsky's
Yes.
fifth and final principle.
The fifth one.
Look up.
Look up.
What did he mean by that?
So this is all about acknowledging that there's something bigger than ourselves, something beyond the material world. Dostoyevsky believed that humans have an innate drive to seek something, to worship, whether it's God, a higher power, or a noble ideal.
And this idea resonates with a lot of current research on the religion instinct.
The religion instinct,
You know, scientists are finding evidence that humans have a natural inclination towards spirituality. And belief in something beyond the physical realm.
It's like we're wired for transcendence. Even if we struggle with doubt or don't identify with a particular religion.
And Dostoyevsky himself wrestled with doubt.
He did.
He famously wrote, "My Hosanna has passed through an enormous furnace of doubt."
Yeah.
So he's not saying we should just blindly believe.
No.
Without questioning.
He saw belief as a choice.
Okay.
A continual process of seeking and questioning.
Right.
And sometimes doubt is a part of that process.
Right. Speaking of Dostoyevsky's own journey, the article mentions a poignant moment that happened on his deathbed.
On his deathbed,
He asked for a reading from the Gospel of Matthew, specifically about the baptism of Jesus.
Yes, and after the reading, he turned to his wife and professed his unwavering love for her.
Oh.
It's like he saw her as a reflection of the divine love.
Oh, wow.
He'd just been contemplating.
That's such a powerful image.
It is.
It really reinforces his ideas about finding meaning in love and connecting with something larger than ourselves.
It does. And it's a beautiful reminder that even in the face of death, there's still room for love, for faith, for a sense of connection to something eternal.
So we've explored all 5 of Dostoyevsky's principles for a meaningful life. Embrace the journey, choose freedom, find meaning in pain. Beware the palace of crystal.
And look up.
And look up. What does all this...
what does this all mean for us?
What does it all mean?
For the listeners.
For the listener.
How can we...
how can we apply these ideas to our own lives?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
It is a big one. And Dostoyevsky isn't giving us a step-by-step guide to happiness. Instead, he's challenging us.
To think deeply about our lives. To embrace the complexity. And to seek meaning. Even in the midst of difficulty.
It seems like he's encouraging us.
He is.
To not settle.
Don't settle.
For a life of comfort and ease.
Yeah.
But to pursue something.
Yes, pursue something more.
Yeah, something deeper.
Something deeper.
Something that resonates with our souls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that might mean taking risks, confronting our fears, wrestling with difficult questions, seeking out those experiences that challenge us to grow and evolve.
It's like he's saying, don't be afraid. To get a little messy. To embrace the ups and downs.
Embrace it all. Because that's where... the real richness of life lies.
That's a great way to put it. He's not advocating for needless suffering, of course. But he is urging us to see the potential for growth and transformation.
Within those challenges.
He believed that true happiness comes not from avoiding suffering, but from finding meaning in it.
From finding meaning.
That's such a powerful and thought-provoking concept.
It is.
It's almost like he's saying, don't waste your pain.
Don't waste your pain.
Use it.
Use it
as fuel to become a stronger, more compassionate,
more connected
human being.
And that brings us back to the beginning of our conversation. Dostoyevsky himself went through unimaginable suffering.
He did.
He faced poverty, imprisonment, the loss of loved ones. And yet he emerged from these experiences with such a profound understanding of the human condition.
It's almost like his philosophy was forged.
It was forged.
In the fires of his own life.
In the fires of his own life.
He didn't just
theorize about these ideas. He lived them.
And that's why his work continues to resonate with people. Centuries later.
Centuries later.
He speaks to something deep within us. He has this yearning for meaning, for connection, for something that transcends the everyday struggles of life.
Absolutely. This has been
an incredible
deep dive.
Deep dive.
Dostoyevsky's ideas are definitely something I'll be pondering for a long time.
Me too.
He was a true master of exploring the depths of the human soul. And his insights offer us a path to a more meaningful and fulfilling life.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a few questions to consider.
All right.
What does finding meaning in suffering look like for you?
That's a good one.
What challenges are you currently facing that might hold hidden opportunities for growth?
Exactly. And how can you apply Dostoyevsky's insights to your own life? What steps can you take today to embrace the journey, to choose freedom, to connect with something larger than yourself.
We'd love to hear your reflections
on
these questions.
Yes.
Feel free to reach out to us.
Yes.
On social media.
On social media.
Or through our website.
Through the website.
And until next time. Keep diving deep.
Yeah, it's like he's saying, don't waste your pain.
Right.
Use it as fuel to become a stronger, more compassionate, more connected human being.
And that brings us back
to
the beginning of our conversation.
To the beginning, Dostoyevsky himself.
Yeah, Dostoyevsky went through unimaginable suffering.
Right.
You know, he faced poverty,
imprisonment,
the loss of loved ones.
Yeah.
But he emerged from these experiences with profound understanding
of the human condition.
It's almost like his philosophy was forged in the fires of his own life.
In the fires of his own life, yeah.
He didn't just theorize.
He didn't just theorize about this stuff.
He lived it.
He lived it, and that's why his work continues to resonate with people centuries later. Because he speaks to something deep within us. This yearning for meaning. This yearning for connection, for something that transcends the everyday struggles of life.
Yeah. This has been an incredible deep dive.
It has been.
Dostoyevsky's ideas
are
something I will be pondering.
Me too.
For a long time.
Yeah. He was a true master. Of exploring those depths of the human soul. And his insights offer us a path for a more meaningful and fulfilling life.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought to consider.
Okay.
How can you apply
them?
Dostoyevsky's insights to your own life?
Yeah. Great question.
Thanks for joining us.
It was my pleasure.
And until next time.
Keep
diving deep.